Wisdom seekers, picture this: a life where every morning you wake with clarity. Your purpose is crystal clear, and your actions, thoughts, and decisions all align with that purpose. You move with intention, embodying discipline, wisdom, and strength in every moment. This isn't an idealistic dream. It's the potential that lies dormant in every one of us. What if I told you the key to unlocking this version of yourself is hidden in the habits you choose to nurture? Imagine transforming your life by changing not just what you do, but how you think, how you feel, how you interact with the world around you. The ancient Stoics, the great philosophers of old, believed that our actions are the truest reflection of our character, and that our habits, over time, define our destiny. It is time to take control of that destiny. Today, we dive into 10 life-altering habits that have the power to transform you into the most authentic, resilient, and powerful version of yourself. These are not quick fixes or shortcuts. They are practices that require commitment and perseverance. But as Heraclitus said, character is destiny. By changing your habits, you are reshaping your character, and therefore your life. Take a deep breath. This is where your journey begins. The path may be long, but remember, the greatest transformations happen not in bursts of action, but through consistent, deliberate change. Let's begin. Habit 1. Mastering the mind through stillness. We begin with the habit that lays the foundation for all others. Stillness. In a world of noise, chaos, and constant distraction, the ability to cultivate inner stillness is rare, but it is essential. If you cannot control your mind, how can you hope to control anything else? The great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often wrote about the importance of retreating into oneself, of finding a quiet place within the mind where one could reflect, observe, and gain perspective. He said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Stillness is not about the absence of activity. It is about the presence of clarity. The mind is a restless entity, constantly in motion, bombarded with stimuli from the external world. But when you learn to quiet this internal chaos, you discover that beneath the surface noise, there is a wellspring of calm, wisdom, and strength. In stillness, we gain insight into our deepest motivations, fears, and desires. We are no longer reacting to life. We are responding with intention. So, how do you cultivate this stillness in your own life? It begins with simple, deliberate practices. Meditation is one of the most effective ways to train the mind to be still. Dedicate just 10 minutes each day to sitting in silence, focusing on your breath, and observing your thoughts without judgment. At first, your mind will rebel, racing with to-do lists, worries, and distractions. But over time, you will learn to let these thoughts pass, like clouds drifting across the sky, without getting caught in their turbulence. The goal is not to stop thinking altogether. That's impossible. The goal is to cultivate awareness, to observe the mind's activity without becoming consumed by it. Once you master this practice of stillness, you'll find that the noise of the world has less of a hold on you. You'll be less reactive, more grounded, and able to make decisions with clarity and calm. But stillness isn't just for moments of meditation. It's a habit that extends into every aspect of your life. When you're in a difficult conversation, stillness allows you to listen fully without being defensive or reactive. When you're facing a challenge, stillness gives you the space to pause and consider your options before taking action. Stillness is the foundation of all wisdom. By cultivating this habit of stillness, you are building a fortress in your mind, one that can weather the storms of life without crumbling. And it's in this fortress that the new you will begin to take shape. Habit 2. Discipline as freedom. If stillness is the foundation, then discipline is the structure that you build upon it. But discipline is often misunderstood. It's not about rigidly forcing yourself to do things you hate. True discipline is born from a deep, inner conviction to live in alignment with your highest values. When you understand that discipline is the key to freedom, your relationship with it changes. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, taught that no man is free who is not a master of himself. Discipline is not about depriving yourself of pleasure or joy. It's about choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term gratification. Every time you exercise discipline, you are reclaiming control over your life. You are saying, "I choose to live by my principles, not by my impulses." Let's break it down. Imagine you're working on a project that is important to your future, a business, a creative pursuit, or a personal goal. Now imagine how easy it is to get distracted by something immediate and fleeting, like scrolling through social media or watching another episode of your favorite show. In that moment, you are trading long-term success for temporary comfort. Discipline, on the other hand, is the act of choosing to stay the course, even when the distractions seem overwhelming. But how do you develop this kind of discipline? Start small. The secret to building discipline lies in consistency, not intensity. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. That's a recipe for burnout. Instead, identify one area where you want to be more disciplined. Maybe it's your health, your finances, or your personal development. Set a simple, achievable goal and commit to it daily. If it's your health, start with a 15-minute workout every morning. If it's your finances, set a small daily savings goal. If it's personal development, read 10 pages of a book every day. The key is to build momentum. Every time you follow through on your commitment, you are strengthening your discipline muscle. Over time, you'll find that what once felt difficult or impossible becomes second nature. And as your discipline grows, so does your freedom. You will no longer be a slave to your impulses or external distractions. Instead, you will be in control of your actions, your time, and your destiny. Remember, discipline is not about perfection. There will be days when you slip up, when you don't meet your goals. The important thing is to not let one misstep derail your progress. Get back up, refocus, and keep moving forward. Each small victory is a step toward becoming the new you. Habit 3. Embracing solitude for deep reflection. Solitude is not loneliness. In fact, it is the opposite. Solitude is a powerful tool for personal growth and self-discovery. In a world that constantly demands your attention, solitude gives you the space to reconnect with yourself, to reflect deeply on your life, and to gain clarity on who you are and who you want to become. Nietzsche once wrote, "The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe." We live in an age where we are more connected than ever before, yet many people have never felt more disconnected from themselves. Social media, endless notifications, and the pressure to be constantly available have created a culture where silence is seen as uncomfortable and solitude is often avoided. But it is in solitude that the greatest growth occurs. Why? Because in solitude, you are forced to confront yourself. There are no distractions, no one else to validate your feelings or opinions. It's just you, your thoughts, your desires, your fears. And in this space, true self-awareness is born. You can ask yourself the hard questions. Am I living according to my values? Am I pursuing the goals that truly matter to me? Or am I chasing someone else's dreams? What do I need to change to become the person I want to be? But solitude doesn't mean retreating from the world forever. It means carving out time for yourself regularly. Start small. Dedicate an hour each week to solitude. Go for a walk in nature, sit in a quiet room with a journal, or simply spend time alone in reflection. The goal is to disconnect from external distractions and reconnect with your inner self. Over time, you'll find that this habit of solitude brings a sense of clarity and purpose to your life. You'll become more attuned to your own needs, desires, and values. And as a result, you'll be better equipped to navigate the challenges and distractions of the world. You'll no longer feel the need to constantly seek validation or approval from others because you will have cultivated a deep sense of self-assurance. The new you is someone who knows himself deeply, who is not swayed by the opinions or expectations of others. And that knowledge, that inner certainty, can only be found in solitude. Habit 4. Daily physical mastery. Your body is your temple. It is through your body that you experience the world, and mastering it is essential for mastering your mind and spirit. This habit isn't just about fitness or aesthetics. It's about developing the discipline, strength, and endurance that comes from challenging your body every day. Socrates once said, "It is a disgrace to grow old through sheer carelessness before seeing what manner of man you may become by developing your body to its highest potential." Your physical health is intertwined with your mental and emotional well-being. When you neglect your body, you are also neglecting your mind. Physical mastery begins with daily movement. This doesn't mean you need to become a professional athlete or spend hours in the gym. It means making a commitment to move your body every day in a way that challenges you. Whether it's strength training, running, yoga, or martial arts, the goal is to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. When you challenge your body, you're also challenging your mind. This daily physical discipline strengthens not only your muscles, but also your mind. When you push through physical discomfort, whether it's lifting a heavy weight, running that extra mile, or holding a difficult pose, you are training your mind to endure. You are building resilience, focus, and mental toughness, qualities that will serve you in every area of your life. The benefits of physical mastery extend far beyond the gym. When you take care of your body, you are also taking care of your energy levels, your mental clarity, and your emotional stability. You will find that you have more energy to pursue your goals, more focus to stay on task, and more resilience to bounce back from setbacks. But remember, physical mastery is a lifelong journey, not a destination. It's not about achieving a specific goal or hitting a certain number on the scale. It's about developing a daily practice of caring for and challenging your body. Over time, this habit will become a source of strength and pride, a reflection of your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Habit 5. Cultivating gratitude for strength in adversity. In the face of adversity, most people crumble. But what if I told you that adversity could be your greatest teacher, your most powerful ally on the path to becoming the new you? The key lies in cultivating the habit of gratitude, even in the midst of difficulty. The philosopher Seneca once said, "A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not." This doesn't mean you should accept mediocrity or settle for less than you deserve. It means recognizing the value in every experience, even the painful ones. When you practice gratitude, you reframe adversity not as something to be feared, but as an opportunity for growth. Most people think of gratitude as something you feel only when things are going well. But true gratitude is not conditional. It's a practice of appreciating what you have, even when life doesn't go as planned. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is present. It helps you see the silver lining in every situation, no matter how challenging. To cultivate this habit, start a daily gratitude practice. Each morning, write down 3 things you are grateful for. These don't have to be monumental. Small things like a good cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or even the opportunity to learn from a mistake. The point is to train your mind to focus on the positive aspects of your life, even when times are tough. Over time, you'll notice that gratitude becomes a natural response to adversity. When faced with a challenge, instead of feeling overwhelmed, you'll begin to see it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. Gratitude doesn't eliminate hardship, but it changes how you experience it. It gives you the resilience to keep moving forward no matter what life throws your way. The new you is someone who embraces challenges with an open heart, knowing that every difficulty is a stepping stone on the path to greatness. And that mindset begins with the simple, powerful habit of gratitude. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate detachment is through reflection. At the end of each day, take time to reflect on how you handled your emotions. Were there moments when you allowed anger or frustration to dictate your actions? Were there moments when you felt overwhelmed by fear or anxiety? By reflecting on your emotional responses, you can begin to identify patterns and triggers, and over time, you will develop greater control over how you respond to them. Emotional resilience is not about suppressing your feelings or avoiding pain. It's about building the strength to face your emotions head-on without being overwhelmed by them. The new you is someone who feels deeply but is not swayed by the ups and downs of emotional tides. You remain calm, centered, and in control, no matter what life throws your way. Habit 6. Building emotional resilience through detachment. Emotions are powerful forces that can shape the way we see the world, make decisions, and interact with others. But unchecked, emotions can also cloud our judgment, leading us down paths we may later regret. The new you must learn to manage emotions effectively, not by suppressing them, but by cultivating detachment, the ability to experience emotions without being controlled by them. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. On the contrary, it means you allow yourself to feel deeply without letting those feelings dictate your actions or overwhelm your sense of self. Detachment is the practice of stepping back and observing your emotions as if they were passing clouds, temporary, fleeting, and separate from who you are at your core. We live in a society that often encourages us to follow our emotions, to act on our immediate feelings without considering the consequences. But this path leads to instability, because emotions are volatile. They rise and fall with external circumstances, and if you let them dictate your life, you will be constantly pulled in different directions. So how do you build emotional resilience through detachment? The first step is awareness. Whenever you experience a strong emotion, whether it's anger, fear, joy, or sadness, pause. Instead of reacting immediately, take a few moments to observe the emotion. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? How does this emotion serve me in this moment? This practice creates a gap between the stimulus and your response, allowing you to choose your actions consciously rather than being driven by impulsive reactions. Detachment is not indifference. It's not about numbing yourself or pretending emotions don't exist. It's about recognizing that while emotions are a natural and important part of the human experience, they do not define you. You are not your anger. You are not your fear. You are not your sadness. These are just passing states of being, and like all things, they will change. Habit 7. The power of purposeful action. Action is the bridge between who you are now and who you want to become. But not just any action, purposeful action. The difference between merely staying busy and making progress lies in whether your actions are aligned with your true purpose. Purposeful action is deliberate. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. The ancient philosophers often spoke about the concept of arete, which translates to excellence or virtue. Aristotle believed that true happiness comes from living a life of arete, a life in which every action is in alignment with your highest values and purpose. In modern times, it's easy to fall into the trap of mindless busyness. We fill our days with tasks, errands, and obligations, yet at the end of the day we feel empty or unfulfilled. Why? Because not all action is created equal. Purposeful action is what brings you closer to your goals, to the new you. It is action taken with intention, with a clear understanding of why you are doing what you're doing. How do you develop the habit of purposeful action? Start by clarifying your purpose. This requires deep self-reflection. Ask yourself, what are my core values? What kind of person do I want to become? What are the goals that truly matter to me? Once you have a clear sense of your purpose, you can begin to align your actions with that purpose. This doesn't mean you have to radically change your life overnight. It means approaching each day with intention. Before you start your day, take a few moments to reflect on what you want to accomplish. Ask yourself, what are the most important things I can do today that will bring me closer to my goals? Then prioritize those actions. This simple practice transforms your daily routine from a series of mindless tasks into a deliberate journey toward your best self. Purposeful action also requires focus. In a world full of distractions, maintaining focus on what matters can be a challenge. The key is to eliminate or minimize distractions and create an environment that supports your goals. This might mean turning off notifications, setting boundaries around your time, or creating a dedicated space for deep work. Another important aspect of purposeful action is patience. The Stoics believed that we should not be attached to immediate results, but rather focus on the quality of our efforts. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not be ashamed of the help you need to reach your purpose, but remember, it is not the outcome that defines you, but the will and determination behind your actions." You might not see progress right away, but if you stay committed to purposeful action, the results will come. The new you is someone who moves through life with intention and clarity. You don't waste time on distractions or meaningless tasks. Every action you take is a step toward becoming the person you are meant to be. Habit 8. Practicing compassion as strength. Compassion is often misunderstood as weakness, especially in a world that values toughness, competition, and self-interest. But true compassion requires immense strength. It is the ability to extend kindness and understanding not only to others but also to yourself, even in the face of adversity or wrongdoing. The philosopher Seneca said, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." Practicing compassion doesn't mean allowing yourself to be taken advantage of, nor does it mean condoning harmful behavior. It means choosing to respond to others with empathy, even when they fall short of your expectations or hurt you in some way. Compassion begins with yourself. Many of us are our own harshest critics, constantly judging ourselves for our perceived failures and shortcomings. This internal judgment can erode our self-esteem and make it difficult to extend compassion to others. But when you practice self-compassion, acknowledging your own struggles and treating yourself with kindness, you build the foundation for a more compassionate attitude toward the world. To cultivate the habit of compassion, start with forgiveness. This doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior, but rather letting go of resentment and bitterness that weigh you down. When you forgive others, you free yourself from the emotional chains of anger and hurt. When you forgive yourself, you allow space for growth and healing. Compassion also requires active listening. So often we listen to respond rather than to understand. When you practice listening with empathy, you create a space where others feel heard and valued. This kind of listening strengthens relationships and builds trust, allowing you to connect with others on a deeper level. One of the most challenging aspects of compassion is extending it to those who have wronged you. But this is where the real strength of compassion lies. It takes courage to choose empathy over anger, to see the humanity in someone who has hurt you. But when you do, you elevate yourself above the pettiness of grudges and retribution. The new you is someone who understands that compassion is not a weakness, but a sign of true strength. You are kind not because it is easy, but because it is right. You treat others with empathy and respect, even when it is difficult, and you extend that same kindness to yourself. Habit 9, the art of letting go. One of the most difficult yet essential habits on the journey to becoming the new you is the art of letting go. Letting go of what, you may ask? Expectations, past mistakes, grudges, unhealthy relationships, and even certain dreams or goals that no longer serve you. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wisely advised, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Letting go is about releasing your attachment to things you cannot control and focusing instead on what you can. It's about understanding that clinging to the past or to things outside of your control only causes unnecessary suffering. Many of us spend our lives holding on to pain, holding on to toxic relationships, holding on to unrealistic expectations of ourselves and others. This clinging keeps us stuck, preventing us from moving forward and evolving into the best versions of ourselves. Letting go is not about giving up. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional burdens that weigh you down. Letting go requires courage. It's natural to fear the unknown, to be attached to familiar patterns, even when they no longer serve us. But in order to grow, we must be willing to release the things that hold us back. This might mean letting go of a job that makes you miserable, a relationship that drains your energy, or even an outdated self-image that no longer aligns with who you want to become. One of the most important things to let go of is the need for control. So much of our anxiety and stress comes from trying to control things that are simply beyond our influence. When you let go of this need for control, you allow yourself to focus on what truly matters, your thoughts, actions, and attitudes. The Stoics understood this well, emphasizing the importance of focusing on what is within your power and accepting what is not. To practice the art of letting go, start small. Identify one thing in your life that you've been holding on to, whether it's a resentment, a fear, or an expectation. Ask yourself, is this serving me? Is this helping me grow? If the answer is no, make a conscious decision to let it go. This may be a slow and gradual process, but each small step will bring you closer to freedom. The new you is someone who understands that in order to move forward, you must release the past. You let go of what you cannot control, and in doing so, you free yourself to live fully in the present. Habit 10. Living with integrity and authenticity. The final habit in building the new you is perhaps the most important of all. Living with integrity and authenticity. Integrity means living in alignment with your values, while authenticity means being true to who you are. Together, these qualities form the foundation of a life well lived. The philosopher Socrates famously said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." To live with integrity, you must first examine your life, your values, and your actions. Are you living in a way that reflects your true self? Or are you conforming to societal expectations, to the desires of others, or to a version of yourself that no longer feels authentic? Living with integrity requires courage. It's easy to say you value honesty, but it's much harder to consistently live by that value, especially when it's inconvenient or uncomfortable. Integrity is about doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. It's about being consistent in your words and actions, even when it's difficult. Authenticity, on the other hand, requires vulnerability. To be authentic is to show up as your true self, without pretense or facade. It means letting go of the need to please others or to fit into societal molds. It means embracing your unique strengths and weaknesses and being unapologetically yourself. One of the biggest barriers to living with integrity and authenticity is fear. The fear of judgment, the fear of rejection, the fear of failure. But the new you understands that living in alignment with your true self is worth the risk. When you live with integrity, you build trust with yourself and with others. When you are authentic, you attract people and opportunities that align with your true self, rather than those that fit a false persona. To cultivate this habit, start by identifying your core values. What are the principles that matter most to you? Once you have a clear understanding of your values, commit to living by them every day. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect. None of us are. But it does mean striving to live in a way that reflects your deepest beliefs. The new you is someone who lives with integrity and authenticity. You are true to yourself and your values, even when it's difficult. You understand that the greatest success in life is not found in external achievements, but in the inner peace that comes from living a life aligned with your highest self. And there you have it, Wisdom Seekers, 10 powerful habits to help you build the new you. These habits are not quick fixes or magic solutions. They are lifelong practices that will require dedication, patience, and self-reflection. But if you commit to cultivating these habits, you will find yourself growing stronger, wiser, and more resilient with each passing day. Becoming the new you is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the best, truest, most authentic version of yourself. Each habit serves as a stepping stone on this path. A path that leads to a life of purpose, strength, and wisdom. The philosophers of old understood that true fulfillment comes not from external achievements, but from mastering the inner game of life, and these habits are designed to help you do just that. Remember, this is a journey. There will be days when you stumble, when you fall short, when the old habits try to pull you back. But each time you choose to rise again, each time you choose to embody the new you, you are strengthening your will and your resolve. And over time, you will find that the person you are becoming is not just a better version of yourself, but the person you are always meant to be. Stay committed, stay disciplined, and above all, stay true to yourself. The new you is not a distant dream. It's within your reach, waiting to be realized. Thank you, Wisdom Seekers, for joining me on this transformative journey. Continue to strive for excellence in all that you do. And remember, the power to change your life lies within you. Stay strong, stay wise, and until next time, keep seeking wisdom.